Show is Ask the First Selectman. I'm Jim Cameron. I am not the first selectman, but John Zagrodzky, our guest, is, and he's here to answer your questions as always. Somebody wrote in, government is only as good as the people involved. And she asked, what was it that motivated you, Mr. Zagrodzky, to get involved in town government?
So I've always been fascinated by town government. I studied it when I was in school. I am an amateur presidential historian and collect signed documents of all kinds from across all of our presidents, and it's quite fascinating for me. But I never was really involved in elective office or town government until I attended a conference. So this was a conference of McKinsey and Company partners when I worked at McKinsey. In 2007. And the guest speaker at that conference was Bill Clinton. And whether you agree with President Clinton or not, in my judgment, he's the seminal political talent of the late 20th century, an absolutely sparkling speaker. He gave a talk in front of the group that was there that was maybe 40 minutes off the top of his head, no notes, no ums, ahs, none pauses, none of that. Funny stories, lots of data, absolutely terrific. And one of the things he said at the end of that was a warning or an admonition to the group that said, look, you people need to get involved, right? This place, this country, this nation works because ordinary citizens get involved to try to make it a better place. And frankly, I just took that seriously. And I went and I thought about it. And I came home and there was an advertisement in the paper that said, sign up with the Republican Town Committee for, I think it was some housing board, something like that. And so I sent in my application and nobody said anything for about 2 months. And I got a reply back, or a phone call actually. There was a gentleman named Peter Hovell, who was the chairman of the Board of Finance. He resigned so that he and his wife could move to Arizona and retire. And the Republican Town Committee said, "Well, you're the only candidate we currently have on our list. Would you be interested in joining the Board of Finance?" And so this was 2008, a year after I'd gone to this conference. And so that's how I got started in government. And well, here I am. What's interesting is I was so motivated by that the following year I sent a letter to President Clinton. And someone had taken a picture of me at that conference. I met him and spent some time with him afterwards. And I sent a letter to the president and thanked him for the speech that he gave. And he actually had the printed photograph, and he signed it and sent it back to me and said that he appreciated receiving that letter. So it was pretty cool. When I was interviewing him, when that picture was taken, I had about 3 or 4 minutes to talk to him. And I asked him about political service. And he said, well, I would tell you two things. First thing is, you need to know what you want to do. If you're going to be in town government, you got to have a vision. What do you want to do with that job? And he paused for a moment and he looked at me with that Bill Clinton twinkle in his eye. And he said, and once you figured that out, you have to know how to sell it. And we all know the history of that. And he, as I think it was Gerald Ford that said that Bill Clinton could sell ice to Eskimos or some comment like that. He was such a good speaker and such a good salesman of his views. So that's how I got involved in town government. I would encourage anybody who's thinking about it to just give it a try. And I think you'll find that you like it, or you'll find some path that you could follow that would give you not only fulfillment, but maybe an opportunity to serve others around you. So that's my story, and I'd encourage you to come up with your own story. Come on and join the team. We're having a good time.
He's John Zagrodzky. He is the first selectman, and this is his show, Ask the First Selectman. If you have a question, by all means, send it along, and we will ask it in upcoming shows. DarianTV79 at gmail.com. That's the email address.